Now you're against?
Yes.
Okay, so what's going on with the release of my son's body and why is it $321?
On the afternoon of October 29, 2007, undercover officers in Oakland spotted a maroon Lincoln linked to a gang shooting days earlier. Inside the car were 4 young men, allegedly members of the P-Team, a violent ghost town subset locked in a deadly feud with the Acorn Gang. Police had intel that another attack was imminent. They followed the car, called in marked units, and tried to make a stop. The Lincoln fled. It crashed into a house near Highland Hospital, and all 4 occupants ran. 19-year-old Obataiye Edwards was chased into a narrow walkway between 2 homes. Police said he turned and pointed a pistol at them. They opened fire, killing him on the spot. A loaded semi-automatic handgun was found by his body. Inside the car, officers recovered an SKS assault rifle. Police said Edwards was part of a gang on a mission to retaliate, but his mother insists that wasn't who he was. She said he was trying to turn his life around, applying for work. In the hours after the shooting, detectives brought in someone else, his mother, Octavia Edwards. They wanted answers about his past, about who he was with, about what she may have known. This is the interrogation of Octavia Edwards.
That's with the coroner's office. I don't have any say.
They said it's because of the detectives that put it on there, because first they told us it was $67.
Right.
And now it's $321 or $367.
We don't set any prices, ma'am, on what they charge.
Okay, about his property. I know I can't have the phone back. I'm not worried about that.
They have their own detectives at the Coroner's Bureau that come out to the scene and look around and do stuff too.
Okay, can I have my house key back? That had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
It was on a red key ring holder.
Okay, all of his property that he had is still in the coroner's office, right? And what happens, let me explain to you what happens, okay? Once somebody passes away.
No, son, somebody was murdered.
Okay, when somebody dies.
Murdered.
Okay, if that's what you want to say.
Yeah. I mean, you can say die, I'm just saying murder.
Okay. The coroner has control over the remains, over the body. The police department can't, take anything from the body. We can't do anything to it.
Well, where's his phone at? You guys been playing on his phone, calling people on the phone, and I know that one for a fact that you guys have been calling people from my son's phone.
Okay, can you just listen? I'm just going to explain this part to you. Okay. We can talk about that. Okay. And so when they get there, they're in charge of the body. They take the property, they take everything, and they use the clothing, they use all of the property to determine the cause of death. Mm-hmm. When they're done with doing whatever they do with the autopsy or whatever their investigation, they call us, and then we have someone go pick up the property. So anything that your son may have had on him, we don't have it yet. And even when we do get it, it's going to be some time before we can start releasing property. And then when that does happen, everything that he had will go to you because you're his next of kin. He wasn't married, right?
No.
Okay, so then you would get whatever property there was that you wanted, we would give it to you. But that's not going to be for some months out, right?
So if the private investigator wanted to come and view the property, he can. He just has to go to the coroner's office.
They won't let him look at it either.
They won't let him look at it either.
No, and it's not just because we jerks and don't want to let them. That's just the rules. So.
Okay, so you honestly want me to believe the gun that you guys say that you found near my son, or they found near my son, was the gun that he had?
That's what the police officers said.
So how many police officers shot him? When will I know the information on who shot my son?
There were 2 officers.
What were their names?
Officer Michael Valle and Officer, Maxig Seville.
2 Mexicans?
2, yeah.
Okay. Dickens. Okay, and so you guys, did they stop or say, what did they say to my son? What is the story? Since I can't get a police report, I can't get a coroner's report, I want to know it's his mother. I came down here to talk to y'all.
Okay, so this is what happens. The officers, we got a task force, right?
Mm-hmm. I seen them.
Okay, that specializes in gangs. They call it the GITF. That's what we call them. And they had gotten some information about some shootings and stuff that have been going on that this particular car and your son and his friends have been involved in.
The car or my son in particular?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So they're sitting in there watching the car, and they watch her son run out of the house and get into this car. He gets into the car. The officer, the undercovers who are watching it, believe that he's got a gun based on the way he's, moving to the
What
car.
house did he come out of?
I'm not sure. I don't have that address, but
Was it? Okay.
but it was some house in West Oakland. So they're following the car, and they're called in the black and whites to come pull the car over. Their plan is just to pull the car over.
Yeah, that's where I get lost at, because I was told they did at the gas station. The car was on them at the gas station.
Right, so what happens is the plan is to pull the car over and just arrest them for the guns.
Right.
That's the plan. So they tried to pull them over. They didn't pull over. They took the cops on a high speed chase. They went through a gas station. And they went down Brookdale, Fruitvale, down MacArthur, and ended up crashing on 13th Avenue where you ended up seeing the car at. 4 guys get out of the car and run. 2 go, they all go in different directions. And there's a total of 4 cops and there's 4 guys. Then 2 officers start chasing your son, and he runs down the side of a house. There's this, where he ran between these 2 houses, there was this fence. So he's kind of like, kind of cornered in it. The officers say he turned around, he pulled out a gun from his waistband, and they started firing.
He started firing at him?
No, they started firing. He didn't shoot at the police officers.
And so they didn't tell him to drop it?
Yes, they did.
Did they give him a chance to drop it?
Well, this is what they're telling us. We weren't there, okay?
Okay.
Right. So they're telling us that while they were chasing him, they were like, hey, stop running. When he turned around and pulled the gun out, of course, they're saying that they gave him commands to stop doing what he was doing. And then they started shooting at him.
Give me their names, please.
You gotta write it down for me.
Thank you. Are they still on duty? Are they off duty?
They're off.
They're off duty.
You been right over here.
You can write. They're off duty. For how long? The 6 to 8 weeks everybody's telling me about reports I may or may not be able to receive.
No, it's a mandatory 3 days that they have to be off. And then they have to go talk to there's also a process that we have where officers who are involved in not just shooting.
They have to go talk to the shrink.
Yeah, they got to talk to them. Get cleared by a psychologist before they can come and work.
And so then what happens?
So what happens is there's 3 investigations going on. The homicide section does one, the district attorney's office does one, and internal affairs does one.
So where's the citizen review board that I can go? Is that across the street or around the corner from internal affairs?
Yes.
Is it still over there?
Yes, it's still
Okay.
So if you wanted to.
I am. This will be my 3rd. I'm not dealing with internal affairs. I deal with them for the excessive force. My thing, and I apologize to you. You are not the asshole that I thought you was. I was thinking you was another cop, but you're not him.
Okay.
So,
I'm glad.
no,
I'm
it's
not
not
the
you.
asshole. Okay.
Okay, you're not him. Anyway, well, let's see, just my mind is going. So, how can they justify this and say, let me do what I do. Let me do what I do. I love you. Bye. And so, they can justify this, they can say whatever they want to say or how they want to say it, they only get 3 days off from work.
Mandatory 3. They can take as much time as they need. And then what happens is, once the investigation is done by internal affairs and homicide, there's a shooting board that takes place. That's where the 3 deputy chiefs and different experts on uses of force, they listen to all the evidence, they look at all the facts, they either make a finding that the shooting was justified or not justified.
Where was my son shot at?
Well, we can't really get it. He wasn't shot. I'm gonna tell you this. He wasn't shot in the back, but I can't get in as particulars about where the different wounds were on his body. You probably
So none of them was by his. Yeah, I'll find out.
Yeah, you're gonna find out, but the rules say that I can't tell. Not that I'm trying to be.
Oh, I know. I understand. I understand. You guys got to see why. I understand. This is just totally unbelievable.
I mean, I get it. And when I was walking upstairs.
I don't see how you guys get it, and you guys I don't even know how I got this big and how it got this far, and I'm looking at the gun and I'm listening. Now I understand my friends, and my son, he is not no saint, but this is not him to turn on the police. Number two, these kids talk to me. That was not my son's gun. None of them carry guns like that.
Like that? That little, is what you're saying?
I don't carry a gun like that.
Okay.
We don't carry little guns. My family.
Okay. Well,
I don't like the police department. I don't. I don't
understand.
like what it stands for. I don't like the way you guys handle our black youth. It don't have to be you personally,
Right.
but just how they put all black people in a lump. It comes, with the job. I have to put you guys in a lump. I'm not saying it's you personally because I have had to, but I have had Osana talk to me and my children like we had a tail. Okay? I have had one come and talk to my son, sit out there and throw the football with him and was totally nice.
Do you think that the police officers,
You guys don't have no sensitivity training at all. You think all black people that live in the hood are just these crazy people on dope, on drugs, and what do you see? What do you see when you go, when you see my son, what do you see?
I live here. I've been here my whole life.
Me too. I'm 49 years old. How old are you?
37.
I've been here my whole life. You live in West Oakland or East Oakland?
I live in East Oakland. My whole family does.
Okay.
So I understand why people don't like the police in this town. If you look at the history of the Oakland Police Department.
Right.
Let's get that understood, okay? I get that. But I think what happens is you have to just deal with individuals. I can't blanket say all black people are messed up.
But they do it to us though.
Would you acknowledge this though? There's some black cats out there that are some fools
I done had the shit beat out of me.
that ride around. There's some cats,
And I'm fighting the case right now.
there's some boys down here on 8th Street that will ride around and love to shoot your boy.
Yeah.
And they fools.
And they know that. I done had the shit beat out of me. Came to the police because I was trying to show my kids a new way and a different life and not be out here doing what they're doing. And one good detective, like I said, he did it. But once it got in the court system, this man did less than a year. I had to literally stop my family from doing something to him. Because once again, when it's black on black crime, sometimes we tend to slip in the cracks. And domestic violence against women, don't trip, this is another one of my pet peeves. But it's just, this is outrageous. It really is. So where do we begin to mend the ways? This is ridiculous because what I'm hearing in the streets, and I mean this is not just boys or my son's friends, this is people that have seen this happen from one end to the other. Now attorneys and everybody, they just don't, it don't matter to me. At this point when you're a mother, and you sit up, you guys can say or do whatever you want. When you sit up and think about doing stuff to people that you don't know and could have families, that's when you say something is wrong. I'm becoming him. Let me back up for a minute. So I told him I'm going to talk to him. I want to see what kind of man I'm dealing with. Where if I would have just been crazy, I could have walked in here with a bomb or anything strapped to me because that's what people get depressed and they do. When you done been in this system for so long and you keep trying to crawl out, you got the people that live next door to you sometimes trying to break in your house and do this. You got the police on your back because you won't tell them what you know. And so you caught in the middle. And then all of a sudden one of your kids is killed, murdered, shot more than one time by two Mexicans. See, I hate to do the racial thing. Because you know who was the first people at my house? 2 Asians and a black girl that I worked with. They was the first ones there. So I hate to play racist, but for some reason, when it comes to you guys and us, that's what it is. The Mexicans really, Osana, it's there. So where do we begin to stop this? I'm going to deal with the issue about my son, but I'm also here because this has to stop. And then when I bring up my other son, this is just, I'm tired.
I think that what happens
I am tired.
All right, let's look at our city. I've been in homicide since 2004. Every year I see at least 100 black boys get shot by other black boys.
Thank you.
And I think that's the issue. Because what does that tell me, right?
How do you talk? Can I ask you something? When you see these young men,
If I'm
how do
brand
you
new, right?
approach them? Just like Zerny didn't know Abba was dead until when? Yesterday or something? The one that's in custody.
But this year,
I mean, so how do you approach? Why you guys didn't tell him? You know, hey, your partner was killed by, you know, the head. I mean, I know you guys have to do it because he said you guys did.
And you believe him? You think that he was down here for how many hours, man?
Quite a few hours.
And
So
nobody
you
told
guys
me.
did tell him that Abba was dead?
Yes.
When did you tell him?
When
Monday?
we talked to him. When we talked to
Monday?
him. The day, whatever day that
See,
was, they arrested him.
I'm hearing different stories. I'm hearing stuff that my son didn't want to go, but you're saying my son was rushed out the house. Was it the house on Martin Luther King?
I don't know the exact address. I didn't say he was rushed out. I said he watched him running out of the house.
He was running from me because I was trying to make him kiss me.
Oh, okay.
If it's his grandmother's house. He was running from me. Because like I said, he has been with me. Y'all followed him to the house in Alameda? That's where we live.
I don't think there was no surveillance like that.
See, they were saying they have been being watched.
No, that's not true.
See,
You need to listen.
No,
to
this is
the facts.
the news. No, this is the news. You guys don't remember that? Saying these kids the kids or the car or whatever have been being watched since last Friday related to some other shootings. I'm not crazy.
No, they weren't being under surveillance since last Friday.
The car was under surveillance?
No, not even last Friday it wasn't. They had been involved in some stuff that happened last Friday.
Okay, so
And
how
we
did you
investigated
guys?
for that.
Okay, so you guys weren't watching them. What's the difference between watching and investigating?
They didn't start watching until they saw the car on Monday.
So how did it come about to the shooting prior or whatever? I'm lost.
Let me help you out. All right, so you know a lot of people talk to us about what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I ride solo.
So
like
when these things started happening last week, and there's some other shootings involving that particular car and your son and his group of friends, right? Information started to come in that they were responsible for these things, right? So
what
the cops, these shootings. Okay?
Shootings on other boys?
Yeah, other shootings. So what happens?
Robberies or just bang bang shoot 'em up? I'm mad at you and I'm gonna kill you?
And some carjackings too. So then on Monday, the cops don't even work on the weekends. These ones who are involved in this. So they get to work Monday and they get caught up, they get the information that, hey, these are who we're responsible for, this is the car, this is where it's at. So they go over there and they look, and sure enough, they sit and they start watching the car. And then they start watching your son and his friends get in it. And when they drove off, they start following. So at that point is when they were under surveillance. Not any time prior to that.
Right.
And so they're under surveillance, and then the plan, like I told you, is to just get some black and white police cars in, pull them over, and arrest them for the guns that they had in the car. Because they knew that it was guns in the car, because that's the information.
I don't know. It's still, I don't think I'm that crazy or I'm that stupid where it's just not making sense to me. I know you guys understand it. It's how you guys work.
Right. All right, let me see if I can help you understand. Somebody tells you.
Yeah, I understand that part.
But
I'm saying all of a sudden because of what somebody tell you. So it had to be a paid informant.
I'm definitely not going into that right now.
So it had to be a paid informant. Thank you for answering that. Or someone that you guys been getting information from.
I can't talk about that.
Okay. And so this is why they were being followed on Monday. But if you guys go back, I don't know if you had to go through the news media or whatever, because that's where me and my family, we was like, they're saying they have been under investigation since last Friday or whatever about some shootings.
Right.
So, I mean...
Under investigation and under surveillance is, I think, what you're getting caught up on.
So what's the difference?
The
What
difference?
What happened before Monday with my son? Somebody, please, just tell me how long has he been under investigation?
Okay. So let me try to explain it to you, where you can understand. So say there's some shootings on Thursday or Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those shootings get assigned to investigators, right?
Mm-hmm.
The investigators start hearing that these group of people, your son and his friends, did these acts in this car. Right? Then they go home for the weekend.
Right, but isn't a week long investigation, a week set. See, you're giving me
No, this is
Friday set, and the
but
news
this is-
or whoever said this was like, okay, from the Friday
let me-
before
I'm gonna tie
that,
it into
7 days. Okay.
So they get this information, they go home for the weekend.
What date did they get this information?
I didn't think this was Thursday or Friday.
So we're saying the 16th,
So the minute that
18th?
so the minute that you get a report that says this shooting happened, and then you get information about who did it, you're doing an investigation.
Right.
You're starting to investigate these people who did this act. So that's accurate. They were being investigated.
They were being investigated since the 16th or the 9th?
No, not the 9th. This past
So you're saying the 16th,
Friday,
this past shooting.
the 17th? Because he got killed on the 20th.
right.
Okay, I was under the impression that the investigation started from the 10th, because they was like, it's been a week-long
No.
investigation.
You can't believe what you see on the news.
But see, they believe that about my son.
Okay.
Okay,
We don't
see-
have no control over that.
But see, but then, here we go with propaganda. But what you guys put out, or how you guys interrogate people, that's okay to do. But see, and believe me, I know my son was wrong. I know what he was doing. That's why I had him on a tight ring. But he was 19, and sometimes I would just have to be okay. I'm gonna let him bump his head. But this is not a head bumping. My son was shot 8 times.
All right, but see,
8 times by 2 police officers? Come on now, that's not excessive force. What is that?
I think that you're doing
Did
it
the
right.
gun even have bullets in it?
Yes, I think
How many? It wasn't even fired?
it was fully loaded.
Was his prints on it?
We haven't done that yet.
Why?
Well, it just happened on Monday.
But you know, and then another thing, what really ticked me off,
I mean, we're
during
going.
this whole thing,
Uh-huh.
I cooperated with everybody that came and asked me a question.
Right.
I was given the runaround until his uncle said, no, we're going to the coroner's office. You guys would not tell me anything. I came to you telling you I knew that was my son because of information I had received. And you guys couldn't, this is where we get with sensitivity again,
Okay.
extend a common courtesy to come and say to me, okay, Miss Edwards, I gave the chip tooth, no tattoos, what he had on it, everything. They said, well, wait an hour, wait this. I stood out there in the rain and cold because I knew it. Everybody kept telling me, stop saying that's him. I said, I know it's him because of the information I received. And you guys, I went home, came back, went home again. I was still told, oh, well, you probably won't get anything till tomorrow, whatever. We don't do this, we don't do that. And then when I went to the coroner's office, they told me my son had been identified already. And I'm like, to who? I'm his mother. And they came back and they showed me a picture of my son with his head rolled, his eyes rolled back in his head, and a look of surprise if you can have the same thing on your face at the same time. They showed me the same picture. They wouldn't allow me to see at the crime scene when they could have just went and took a picture. Now, what do you call that?
That's what the coroner does, man.
What did,
That's the
no,
thing.
they
ain't
told
got
me
their
the
own.
court, you guys, see, that's where you guys keep blaming it on each other. Please, stop
But
that,
that's not-
please.
that's not what we do.
No, because you guys were sitting up here, was it you I talked about until the fingerprints or whatever
Right.
come back?
This is my
And-
case. This is gonna be my case. I'm gonna be the lead investigator
But you're
on this
police,
case.
how can it be your case?
I'm a homicide investigator.
Are you that honest?
I'm gonna be impartial to this whole thing.
You really are.
Yes.
Can I ask you
That's my
I
job.
want to ask you this, because I saw you on TV. I got to ask you this before I leave. What make you think that I'm cool with people just killing black people?
See, I'm not cool with that either. That's what you
Police
don't
or
get.
anybody.
That's what you don't get. I'm not cool. I'm not cool with my son if he
Oh,
killed
like, do you
somebody.
really think-
I'm not cool with Omari if he did something.
Do you think that we
that's
really
my
will be
other son.
cool with
I
that?
am not. Yes, I do.
Why?
And that's what's scary.
Why?
We have black children too. I got a son 18 years old.
It's something.
Okay, so
let me
no, we're not
tell you
doing that.
something. I'm a mother. Before this happened, for the last 2 or 3 days, about me keeping a ring on, I was not able to sleep. I'm like, something ain't right. I didn't know what it was. Okay? Didn't know what it was. Something was going to happen. It's not the first time I've had these feelings or got these feelings. And then this is what happened.
Mhm.
And when you try to, my kids have been through a lot. I have been through a lot. Okay? And when you know something's going to happen, and when you see police officers, I know one of the, whatever, was a black man, and it couldn't get stopped, but here you guys wreck them, and it takes 2 Mexicans. But when the surveillance was going, I mean, this is just how I'm tying things in. I don't want to believe that you're cool with it. I'm not cool with it.
None of us are.
But just like I asked the reporters, when you see me on TV, see, they cut all of that out. You know, they cut a whole big thing out. Because me and one of your other police officers wanted to just come out and make a statement and leave. Me and him got into it. And just like I asked them to ask people, what are you doing to change this other than reporting it and putting it on the news?
Right.
So can I ask you, what do you do
What
to
do I
help
do?
change this? What do you do? Because I'll tell you what I do.
Okay, I can tell you a bunch of stuff I do.
Just give me a couple.
Okay, this is what I do. The first thing I do as a
black man, what do you do to go out of your way to help these young black men and women now? Because that's the scary part, because you got little girls walking up beating old ladies. When I seen that one, it broke my heart when they beat that old lady up in Vallejo.
You know how many, I'm in a fortunate position, right? So we know everything that goes on the street.
Yeah, I know you do.
Right. So we get these guys in here and we talk to
That
them.
will tell they so.
We spend a lot of time talking to these boys in these rooms over here. And we try to talk some sense into them. Like, dude, do you realize that those dudes are gonna kill you if you keep standing out there? And do you think about your mama? Do you think about your sisters, your kids? We try to spend as much time as we can talking to them like they men, to get them to understand that they have value, that they just not some statistic, and that they should think about everybody other than themselves.
So what do you do? I've had one police officer that was with Abba, and Abba had ran away, and the next day when Abba came back, he came over, he took Abba, he talked to him, and he was a rookie or he was just young, but he was sincere. He stood out there, I made Abba bring his football out, threw the football, and whatever they talked about, and my son came back in the house and apologized, and it was sincere, and he was cool for a minute then. You know, so what I'm saying, sometimes it's the little things that you can do in your community, or if you want to help. When you have them in here, they already have a defense up.
But it's bigger than us, though. It's got to be everybody got to get involved.
Please stop calling me. I'm good. What, Grandma? I'm okay. Let me call you back. What, Grandma? Who? Okay, I'll call him back. Grandma, I'm at the police station. Grandma, can I call you back? Okay. Thank you, Grandma. Okay, well, whatever you guys work out, it's going to be fine. I'm out here trying to see why they got the hold and stuff on them, okay? Okay, I'm going to call you back. Okay, all right. Okay.
You see how when you get these groups who get in these conflicts, right? Like this Ghost Town and Acorn thing, right? Both of those sides, if they really could, they would stop it.
Yeah.
But what happens is once it gets going, when they leave here, they leave you, and they leave their grandmother's house, everybody's telling them to stop it. They feel like they can't because they're afraid they're gonna get killed by these guys.
And that's why Abba, if it was 2606, the house that he ran out of, because it was me, because I was telling him I knowing my son, so I know. And so it's all I'm asking you guys, if you're gonna investigate this, investigate it like it was your niece or nephew out there.
Right.
And wonder why he would get shot. Was it 8 times?
I don't know. I don't know where you get it.
I can't get into that.
But
okay, all right.
But he got shot. He got shot multiple times.
We can tell you
I can't give you a number though. But he got shot multiple times.
Okay. You know what?
You're gonna find out when they release his body to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out.
But he and I investigated that case with Memphis, right? He went to jail.
See?
Okay.
I believe that. We're gonna leave that.
We did our part.
I believe.
Did we though?
I believe
Did we do our
the
part?
detective that did my part, or my case, he did his part.
Right. Now what happens is when he goes to court, it's out of our hands at that time.
I hear that a lot too. So what are you saying? You can do your part with this and find that they used excessive force, like all of them? Well, I mean, you guys can't go until the higher ups. Okay, some police need sensitivity training, even though they done passed these tests, because anybody can fake it for a minute, but their true colors gonna come through eventually.
All right, Ms. Edwards, are you willing to accept there's a possibility that they did not use excessive force?
How many times was he shot? I'm not willing to accept that.
If that's what the investigation shows.
Yeah, just listen. I'm not willing. Yeah, I'm here. I'm not willing to accept that because I know my son.
Okay.
So it has to be more to it.
So anything short of the cops were wrong, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to do something about it. And
I
it's
agree.
not a threat, it's not a promise.
I encourage you to do that
It is what
anyway.
it is.
I encourage you to do
I
that
mean,
anyway.
it's just like if I was to walk in here and do something crazy because of them two, or to track them down. I mean, so much stuff is, but the saving me is my other son. And my nieces, everybody like, no, you can't do that, that's the old you, but this is ridiculous. And this is what put me in the mind like, God, I see where these kids get it from. Some people just can't be pushed that far. And if I didn't have the grace of God in me, no, so, and a lot of these kids don't have that. They haven't been introduced to that. And a lot of these police don't have that. So all I'm asking you to do as a mother, as a black woman, is to please investigate this
Fairly, being
We'll
fair.
be fair,
That's
we will be
it.
impartial, and that's the only thing they expect me to do, is to be fair and impartial. And that's exactly what I want to do.
But
We discovered
I wanna
Now,
something
were you the
wrong
one involved with my son shooting?
with your son shooting, yeah. I was the one.
At the hospital,
sat
I told you
there,
I don't shake
you-
hands.
You told me you didn't shake hands, and you
And
sat
I-
there.
and I said,
You lied. Wait, you let him lie about his name. Oh, yeah.
whole
His name was
time.
Danny Longwood.
But you didn't know who, but you
I didn't know
didn't
him.
see that I gave you the right address.
Yeah, but you let him lie to me on his mama. You let that young, he's a juvenile. I couldn't believe that. I really could not believe that.
Why?
Because you're a mother, you're an adult. And here I am, a police officer, he's a victim.
And
just
you
got
know
shot.
why? Because
I'm
one of you
investigating.
guys have told me to put my son on a leash.
But it
Because
wasn't me
one
though,
of you
man.
guys
I mean,
have broke his front tooth,
wasn't me.
okay?
And so,
So
let me
I
ask you
have
something.
seen you guys
Let me ask
do
you something.
stuff
Let me-
too much.
let me
No, I'm
let me
waiting
ask
for
you how you feel about that. Because you know why? Because I'm listening to her and I feel her pain that she lost a son.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I was coming in there to investigate your son being shot.
What's his
Amari Edwards, I remember. Anyway, here he's shot in the upper back. I remember LaQuisha got shot and her brother was murdered.
Amari was grazed, he wasn't shot.
Well, I thought he got shot in somewhere up here.
The bullet was from when he got shot in the chest. Amari has
Okay.
been shot 4 times.
Okay. So I'm investigating the crime because he's my victim. Okay. And see, here you prejudge me because
I prejudge all
but
of
you
you.
shouldn't
See,
do that.
but
though.
I
You should not
admit
do
it.
that.
I
though.
admit it. When
Right,
my
you should
son
not do
has,
that.
why?
Because, Miss Edwards, let me,
You
it's not
guys
fair.
do it
It's not
to
fair.
us.
No,
I know.
let me ask you
Thank
something.
you. See?
It's not fair.
See?
Listen,
Now you feel me?
let me give you a hypothetical situation.
Okay.
Suppose we go somewhere where it's all Caucasian people, right?
Been
And
there.
we go, let's say we go to San Jose, where Santana Road, where they got all the tire stores, and we walk in there, me, you, and him. Nobody know what we do for a living, and then somebody of a Caucasian persuasion says, "Look at them black people. They must be coming in here to steal." How would you feel if somebody said that to you?
It depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes, I'm serious. Because sometimes I might ignore it. Sometimes I might have to give them a lesson in black history and let them know 9 times out of 10 they might be black themselves and just don't. So, like I said, back in the old days, I probably would have beat them.
Okay.
You know, so.
Would you like, I'm asking
What
that's
I
a
would
yes or
do-
no response. Would you like that if people prejudge you and say, all black people are dumb? Hell no. All black people is, you would like it.
Unfortunately, because I am black and I do
And
have
so
to
what am I?
because
What am I?
I put up with a
What am I? Okay, go ahead, look like.
and this is what I say to you guys, you are so black, you're blue.
Okay.
Or so blue, you're black, yeah, whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's something, unfortunately,
Right.
when people do make those racist statements to me, I mean, I've worked in a store and I'm not even in the produce section, and I've had little old white ladies come up and, can you help me pick out a watermelon? Okay, so, and it's just like, you know, either act like you don't hear them or tell her, you know, I don't even eat watermelons, I'm sorry, let me get someone from produce to help you. I
Right.
work in this department. You know, so that's what I'm saying, depending,
And that's
you
what we do
should have
every
known
day.
that.
We
You
do
should-
that every day.
so
When
yeah.
people say stuff to
It
us as
was-
police
you
officers,
took
we
it
do that
personal.
every day. And no, I take it personal because I'm looking at you as an adult, and you are tasked with raising these young men and teaching them how to be
And
grown men, right?
taught them how to
But
fight,
Okay, but
Tell him how to
when you
shoot guns.
sat
Yes,
there
me. They
and you
got
let him
information.
tell me that his name was Danny, the law
No, we went, this was for a hunting thing.
Oh,
This
okay.
was not, no, this
So-
was not street guns. This was rifles.
Okay, so
in Atlanta. So,
back to
no.
that day at Children's Hospital.
And see,
So-
because see, the white folks, when they teach, they like Sarah Palin, teach their kids how to hunt, fish, and all of that, it's okay. So
Right.
see, mine know how to hunt,
So you
fish,
said, you got that off of. All right, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So let's back up, back to that day at Children's Hospital when you were sitting in the corner in your chair, he's laying in that bed. I remember, you know I remember, right? I don't know what you had on, but you weren't looking real happy. I tried to shake your hand, so you wouldn't shake my hand.
I told you, I don't mess with the police.
Okay.
I told you, I don't shake hands with the police. I told
So
you.
I asked the young man, I told him I'm trying to take a statement from him. I said, what's your name? Danny Longwood. And I'm looking at him like, I know your mama ain't named you no Danny Longwood. And I'm looking at her and she was sitting there and did not say a word. So just look at me like, yeah, that's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
give you that. I'm gonna give you, and you just couldn't wait to rub this in.
No, not rubbing in, but I mean, you brought this up.
Okay, and see, that's what I'm saying. But that's where stereotype comes in.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you basically judged me because of some past transgressions you had with other police officers.
Right.
And that's not me, okay? I didn't harass you after you told me, after you let him tell me.
Because
Okay,
next I would have started on your mom. Oh, they ain't told you about my mom.
They ain't told me.
They ain't told you about my mom.
No, well, I'd already seen that she didn't like the police. You cut it real short.
Yeah, I would have talked about your mama told her she should have. Oh, I done cut. But those was Osana and them. I done
Okay,
just
but
talked
see, I've been doing this
about.
job for 23 years, and people talk about my mom and talk about me.
Yeah, and you get
spit at me.
I
get it.
So,
I
and
get it.
but see,
That's
so
fine.
where's this hatred coming from the police officers where they shoot first and ask questions? I mean, how many times do you hear, I mean, it is sad, every time they bring up a shooting, they refer back to the one about 4 police officers being shot.
Right.
But they don't get killed like these young black men are killing
Right.
each other. They
Young
kill
black men
each
kill
other.
each
The
other.
black men are scared of you guys.
Okay.
They are
And-
scared of you guys. They
okay.
are not gonna turn no gun. John told me that, John Burstow, he said, I tell you, they are not gonna do it. He
They're
said,
not
I
gonna
can't.
do what?
You know, not my son. He ain't gonna turn around and start shooting at no police. I'm sorry. It ain't no
But
way.
that
And then I'm
it
shocked.
happens all across the country.
No,
The people
it
shoot at
doesn't.
cops. Yeah, they
No.
do.
Out here, please.
You saying that suspects don't shoot at cops?
When? When was the last one you had?
You know what?
When was the last
We
one?
just had
And y'all ain't even found no
On
bullet.
Sycamore Street about a month and a half ago.
They just shot
What happened?
the officers.
The cops when the car stopped and some cats started shooting at him.
Did they hit anybody?
No, I'll be right.
That was kids
Okay.
playing. But see?
No.
I think that's...
Let me say something. Let me ask you
What?
something.
I know, that was a joke.
I
Okay.
want you to put yourself in our shoes. And let me tell you something, first and foremost. I was born and raised in New York City. You know where Harlem is? Have you ever heard of Harlem? Have you been there?
Yes.
Okay. So I was raised in the project, St. Nicholas Project, 129th
Oh,
Street,
okay.
8th Avenue. So I say that to say that I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My uncle sold drugs and did all kind of bad stuff.
Right.
Okay? So no, I get it. I see. I know I wasn't raised out here, but a hood is a hood.
Hood,
A hood is a
exactly.
hood. No, whether I'm from Chicago, Detroit, Washington, D.C., a hood is a hood.
So you
okay?
do have some
So I know.
sensitivity.
Oh yeah, I know. Like I said, and I get it, okay? My thing is that people have to realize
So if I
that.
would have told you the truth and my son was on the run, you would have said, okay, he's a victim. I'm not going to take him in the
Well, I wouldn't have took him to jail then, but I mean, if he got a warrant, then yeah.
He did have a warrant.
Okay, so that's why you let him lie to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand that though. But for him to use
He didn't have
can
a
we
warrant.
come up with a better name though?
That was his name.
Danny Longwood though.
See, some things I have to let him bump his head too.
Okay, yeah, because that was not believable. When he told me that, I'm like, oh, he lying. He lying. I know your mama did not name you Danny Longwood. Okay.
He do have some friends that's black and their last name is Longwood,
Okay.
but not Danny.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, listen to me now.
Okay.
My thing is that as a police officer, okay, and you're out there on the street, I think people have the misconception is that we gotta wait for somebody to shoot at us first.
No. See, no.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to
And
make
see,
sure that we're
so
clear.
why is it a misconception? See, and this
Because
is
people
gonna
look at
sound
the
weird,
news or
and you
movies
guys
and stuff.
know, but you guys are trained, right? Is it torso, this, you can shoot the head off a fly
No.
or something. You
No,
don't
no,
have
that's
to know
not
how
true.
to shoot a
I
gun.
don't shoot that well.
So when
They teach you how to shoot, but I
did
can't
you
shoot
hear what just came out your
Yeah,
mouth?
I can't shoot the fly off of somebody's head. No, I
You're
can't.
telling me that you don't.
No, I can't.
So you can be up there and you see it's a young person, and so you shooting to kill, or you shooting to take the weapon out of their hand?
No, I'm
you shooting to kill.
kill. If I have to discharge my firearm,
And so
then I
how
am
many
shooting
times
to
is it
kill
gonna
that
take you
person.
to kill somebody?
What do you mean? I don't think I understand that question.
If you're shooting to kill somebody, does
Right.
that mean you're gonna unload your whole clip?
I think that depends on the actions of the person that I'm shooting at. If they're
If they pulled a gun out your waist, but they haven't fired at you or whatever.
They still have that gun
which
and
you
they're
gonna-
running.
Yeah,
That's
but the
shooting.
fence and the whole bit, I don't know, but anyway, I don't know how to set this up. But I'm pointing the gun at you,
Mhm.
and it's you and your partner, and both of y'all unload your clips on me.
I'm gonna shoot until I stop that threat. And
Okay,
that
so until the
person
person
drops that
is
gun
dead.
and falls down, right? And that's what they teach you in the academy. You shoot until you shoot until you can stop the threat. Okay? And as long as that person still has a gun in their hand and they're facing you with that gun in
So
their
when
hand,
did
they are a threat.
So will I be able to find out when he fell or when he hit the ground or what shot killed him? That's gonna
Hold on.
be, yeah, it is a kill shot. It's always a kill shot.
Well, he got shot multiple times though, Mr. Edwards. And here's the deal. There's like no
See, that's-
cameras. There wasn't no cameras
See,
there
and I
or
know,
anything to show
and they know
how
it wasn't
long
no
it took him to
cameras.
hit the ground or
They
anything
know
like
it wasn't
that.
no cameras, but they didn't know one person seen everything. But
Okay.
this started to mess with my stomach. I'm getting so mad. Cause it don't, I mean, come on.
Miss Edwards.
So you telling me you gonna just shoot to kill?
I was just telling Miss Sergeant Jones, just to bring you up to speed. She was asking me about how well I shoot. She said, you got to train to shoot the fly off the
The
fly.
head off the fly.
I told her I can't do
He
that. I
said he can't shoot.
No, I can't shoot like that.
What happens is, this is how they teach us, right? They teach us the targets are,
Silhouettes.
the silhouette is the upper body. You shoot for the biggest part, the biggest target.
So that's the torso.
Torso, yeah.
Right.
Because it's too,
So even so, that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't see, are you assuming a person has a weapon then?
all right, let me ask you-
Something ain't right. It just, I understand what you're saying. And it's just, so what if it's not just like if it was the wallet from New York and he got shot 40 something times?
then that's wrong.
Right. And they should go to jail.
Okay.
If that's
Or at least not be police
So
officers.
8 times you don't think that's enough to go to jail? Are they saying my son didn't fall? Or he just stood there with the gun, he was shot 8 times and never got off a round?
I don't think we said he was shot 8 times. We said he was shot multiple
It
times.
was multiple.
More than 2.
If we could tell you, we would.
Why you can't tell me?
Because that's the
That's-
protocol.
The investigation is still open. It's still an
Why
open
is the
investigation.
investigation still open?
Because
If he
we
just-
have to-
See, and then we go to the coroner report where he's a criminal and they done judged him already and I have to pay all of this money to have his body released.
What do you mean? The coroner's report and they
The
judge him as a
coroner,
criminal?
remember I told you, the coroner is saying, they named you, the detective
Because I'm
on
the
the
lead
case.
investigator.
Yes.
Right.
Put a number or something on there, and it's $300 and something. I
That's not
promise. They told my sister that. They told Thompson Funeral Home that. That's why my grandmother's calling me back. I
Okay.
mean, this is not.
When we
I
leave
have
out
no
here,
intentions
I will
of
call
putting
them in
down
front
there.
of you and tell them I have no holes on his body. I don't have holes.
It's not a hole.
Okay.
It's a amount of money because he was a criminal.
That ain't.
That's what.
This is the first time I've ever heard that. That's why I'm looking at you like.
This is the first time I've had one of my kids murdered. So I mean, I don't know. I've never did a funeral in my life.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here and I'm going,
Well, let's go call him and get that part.
thank you.
Okay. That's what you're saying.
And you know what, I'm gonna apologize to you for that, but if I had to do it again, I probably
Do
would.
it again. I believe it.
Octavia Edwards maintained that her son was not a killer, and not the person police were describing. She admitted he had made mistakes, but said he had been trying to turn his life around. Detectives pushed her for more: names, motives, affiliations, but much of what she offered was denial, frustration, and grief. No criminal charges were ever filed against Octavia. And though police closed their investigation into the shooting, the questions she faced in that room remain unanswered for many. Was Obataiye a young man trying to escape gang life, or one preparing to take a life himself? Whatever the truth, the interview revealed a mother's pain, her fear, and the burden of being the last person left to speak for her son. If you found this video informative, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it really helps support our work and allows us to continue covering important stories like this one. Thank you.